The first negotiations on ending hostilities began days after Hamas and other armed groups took around 250 Israeli captives on October 7th, 2023. Israel began its offensive on the Gaza Strip the same day. By the end of October, Hamas offered to release all Israeli captives in exchange for the freeing of all the thousands of Palestinians held prisoner. But Israel rejected this. The first cessation of hostilities was agreed on November the 24th with the help of Qatar. Meant to last only 4 days, it held up for a full week, giving Palestinians respite as Hamas released 105 captives. The flow of humanitarian aid resumed, if only for a short time. Israel freed hundreds of Palestinian prisoners, but hundreds more were arrested at the same time in the occupied West Bank. On December 1st, Israel's assault on Gaza resumed and continued for more than a year without pause. By April 2024, Israeli attacks had killed tens of thousands of Palestinians. But the killing of 7 humanitarian aid workers from the World Central Kitchen led to US President Joe Biden criticizing Israel and pressuring for a ceasefire.
It sets the stage for political settlement.
In May, he presented a plan which was accepted by Hamas. But jubilation in Gaza and Tel Aviv was short-lived. Israel rejected the proposal. Hamas insisted on a permanent ceasefire. Israel would only accept a temporary one. Israel then assassinated Ismail Haniyeh, the political leader of Hamas and key negotiator in the Iranian capital, Tehran, in July 2024. A proposal very similar to Biden's was finally accepted under US, Egyptian, and Qatari mediation in January 2025. Donald Trump took the credit shortly before his inauguration as US president. Israel and Hamas agreed to a 3-phase deal, with each phase lasting 6 weeks. In the first, Hamas released 33 captives, including children, women, and the elderly, in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. The ceasefire was fragile, with reports of Israeli soldiers killing civilians across the Strip nearly every day. Israel threatened to end the ceasefire if Hamas continued what it called humiliating ceremonies, held as some captives were released. They soon ended. Under the agreement, the remaining living and deceased captives would be released in the second phase, while Israel was supposed to start withdrawing from the Gaza Strip. But talks on the second phase stalled, as Israel refused to withdraw. On March the 18th, Israel resumed bombarding the Gaza Strip, unilaterally ending the ceasefire despite mounting protests from the families of the remaining captives. The ceasefire that was supposed to end the war for good survived for only 2 months, leading many to question how long any future deal might last. Dmitry Medvedenko, Al Jazeera.
Don't miss out, get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.